Shalom. Before I begin this video, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rachak and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that still to this very day continue to rule very well. That is feeding the flock through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. And I'm also a shalom to the whole elect that's also continually laboring this work. That's also showing forth your faith by continually pushing out this word and edifying the body of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in all faith and truth and sincerity and all charity. Now, the topic of this video is going to be entitled, "The Month is Called After Her Name," okay? Which is this is basically a follow-up to the previous video, which I did concerning the Sabbath, which was an impromptu video. And I stated in that video I was going to make a follow-up video concerning the moon. And basically when you go into the moon itself, the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai has specifically created the sun and the moon to serve a purpose. Okay, not only is it there to give light unto when I say light, I'm talking about the sun. Not only was the sun set up here to give light towards the people, all right, but also, it has a certain function, okay? And also, likewise, the moon. The moon has its own function, okay? Because you go into the Bible, it tells you the reason why the sun and the moon were created, okay? And also, they serve a purpose concerning prophecy, okay? But in this video, I'm just going to focus on the moon. Okay, because if you go into the sun, we all know that if you go into history and how the sun was used as used to keep time, all right? Because back then you didn't have no digital clocks or, like any sort of clock with the hand, going from 12 to 6, 12 all the way to 6, and into so on and so forth, telling you that it's 12 o'clock or, you have the short hand and the long hand that tells you what time it is. No, you never had that back in the ancient world. All right, you had the sun that tells you what hour in the day it was. Okay, but when it comes to the moon tells you what time of the month that you're in. All right, or the certain a certain day, and when the month ends and when it begins. Okay. So as you see here, I got phases of the moon, which is from new moon into a full moon, okay? Which again, if it's a new moon, of course, it's a new month. When it's if you see a full moon, we're in the middle of the month, okay? And then when it goes back to a new moon, that begins another month, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the precepts I have here. Right, and also you have as well. Actually, let me go in Genesis. Slack yeah. So as well, you can actually go online and look up when the new moon comes in. Okay, and that's when the month starts. Okay, I believe you if you consider the other nations over in the eastern part of the world, they still hold on to one way or another. They still hold on to the old calendar, which we were following back in the ancient world, which was based on the moon. Okay, I believe Moab still holds on to still sort of holds on to that, because they observe the new year at a certain point in time. If I'm not mistaken, it was something that they do that's on the calendar that lines up with the new moon. I don't remember what it was, but it was one of the nations that actually still do that to this very day. I don't remember who it is, but that lets you know that that system of keeping time is still around to this very day, and it still holds strong. Okay, because now these people follow what you call a Gregorian calendar. All right, which was set up by the previous popes during the time of the Roman Catholic era. Okay, I believe it was Pope Gregory the VI, if I'm not mistaken, that set up the Gregorian calendar, and gave you the certain amount of days that you see here, which was going off. Why? Because the days in the months, or Slakia, the days that you see today, that's based off that calendar, the Gregorian calendar, is not accurate, because that's why in the month of February you have a leap year, and it's not supposed to be like that. All right. That's why you have a leap year. You get days that are added to February. All right. So that's why the time is off, and also as well the seasons. All right. The seasons are off too because of the Gregorian calendar. All right. But we here, us in the know, we know what time the month starts, or the day that the month starts, and when it comes in, when we're in the new year, and when the Passover comes, and when the high holy days come around as well, because we keep the system, which is due to the moon. All right, we keep that same practice of keeping time according to the moon. Okay, and of course there are other resources as well that tells you certain or gives you certain clues onto when the new year starts. All right, like you have a term called midsummer. All right, you can actually go online and find out when midsummer is, and when you find that out, you can do your own calculations, and you can see when the new moon, or not the new moon, when the new year comes in, and that's how we're able to tell, when the new month starts. Okay. So this is Genesis chapter 1, start at verse 14. It says, "And the Most High said, Let there be lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the night from the day, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years." See? So the Lord has made lights in the firmament of heaven to divide the day and the night. All right. So he made the sun and the moon. All right. To divide the day and the night. Okay. And it says, "Let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth." And it also says, "Let them be for signs and seasons and for days and years." So these things were made to keep time. Okay. Like I said, they have a purpose. Verse 16, "And the Most High made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night." Okay. So the greater light, of course, is the sun. All right. Which is the brightest light there is. Okay. And the lesser light is the moon, because the moon has its own light. Okay. Contrary to what they tell you, they're saying that, well, because the moon is getting light from the sun. No, the moon has its own light. Okay. So again, it says, "And the Most High made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. And the Most High set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And the Most High saw that it was good." Okay. So the Most High saw that this was good. All right. And just to make a side note, here it is. You have Esau, or Edom, which is the nationality of the so-called white man that tells you that you have to go by his calendar, or he has the whole world that are following his calendar and his time system. All right. Which you can clearly see is going off, because when you look at the time, and this is from observation. So when you look at the time and when the sun goes down, if you notice each and every single day, later in the year, the time that when the evening comes in starts to go backwards. Okay. But when you're in during the springtime, during the new year, oh, and by the way, the new year starts when spring comes in. Okay. So when the new year comes, right, that's when the time, or his clock, you start to see the minutes go forward. So later on in time, like say for instance, it's 7 o'clock. It may be evening at 7. It may be evening around 7:30, going towards 8 o'clock during the beginning of the year. Okay. And it keeps doing that every single year. All right. Which lets you know, man, that his time is off, man. Another reason why, because he has to change the times by setting the clock forward or backward, because it's not accurate. All right. See what I mean? And yet he still tried to be like the Most High. Okay. Yeah, that's it on that. I'm gonna go ahead and jump to Sirach chapter 43, and let's see. I'll start at I want to start first up. I'm gonna get to the point. Verse 6. It says, "He made the moon also to serve in her season, for a declaration of times, and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection." So again, the moon has her own light, and it decreases in her perfection. So as time moves on, all right, it increases the light that it has, and it decreases. Okay. Now, so again, it says the moon is to serve in her seasons, right? And the moon, that's how we know what season we're in due to the moon. We know what day or month that we're in because we are able to tell the times according to the sun and the moon. Okay, and there's a particular tribe out of the nation of Israel that was able to do that. That's why Issachar, or the tribe of Issachar, were experts at keeping time. Actually, let me see if I can get that. Let's see. I may be able to find it here. I believe it's in Chronicles, if I'm not mistaken. It's in one. I believe it's in one of the Chronicles, if I can find it. Yeah, here it is. Yep. It's First Chronicles chapter 12. This is at verse 32. It says, "And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment." So Issachar were men that had understanding of the times. Okay. And they knew what Israel ought to do. Okay. That's why when you look at history, the Mayans, I believe is what I meant to say at the beginning of the video. The Mayans, they had two temples that were dedicated to the sun and the moon. Okay. And this is how they dictated times. All right. That's why you have the Mayan calendar. Okay. That's why you have the sundial, because the men of Issachar were experts of the times. Okay. That's why, for the most part, when you look at the Mayan calendar, you know, it's pretty much accurate. Okay. Because it's letting you know that there's an end of an age. All right. Because they said that, well, the Mayan calendar tells you when the end of the world is coming. Well, actually, in a way, yeah, it is happening. Why? Because there's a transition from one world to another, which is the world of Esau is being transferred over to the world of Israel, pursuant to Second Esdras. I believe Second Esdras chapter 9, 6 and 9, if I'm not mistaken. So back at Sirach chapter 43, and this is at verse 8. It says, "The month is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of heaven." See that? So the moon, right? It says the month is called after her name. Okay. So let's go ahead and get the word moon. This is in the etymology of the word moon. Okay. Now, if you go into Etymon online, right, you see that the word moon means it means a heavenly body which revolves about the earth monthly. Okay, monthly. If you go further into this definition, what does it show? Moon, month. Okay, month from the Greek mene, which means moon or month. Okay. Latin, it also tells you that it means month. Okay. So reading on, and it's a little bit down, it says to measure in reference to the moon's phases as an ancient and universal measure of time. Right. So this was an ancient and universal measure of time that was used to measure the times that they were in. All right. To know what day and month and season that they're in. Okay. I believe that's it on that. Yep. So I'll move on from there. All right, so this is the book of Psalms, chapter 81, verse 3. It says, blow up the trumpet in the new moon, in the time appointed, on a solemn feast day. Okay, but this was a statute for Israel and a law of the Most High of Jacob, the law of the power of Jacob. All right, see that? So let me get the word moon, right? Psalms 81 and 4. It's like 81 and 3. Right here, 4. All right, so moon is the word moon here is chadash. Okay, chadash. All right, so the word chadash means the new moon. So what else does it say? Monthly. The first day of the month. Okay, this is the word for new moon. Okay, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the word for new moon is chadash, which means the new moon. Okay, the first day of the month. So the new moon tells you when the first day of the month is. And from the first day of the month, which is the Sabbath, afterwards you have 6 days afterwards that you work. All right, 6 working days after that new moon. So on the 8th day of the month, that's when you have the Sabbath. Okay, because the new moon, the day that the new moon comes in, is a Sabbath in itself. So you work 6 days after that, and then on the 7th day you rest. Okay, so from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown, you are not to do any sort of hour work, kindle fire or do any pleasures on the Sabbath. Okay, and then you work 6 days, and then again you have another Sabbath from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown for this month. Okay, and the Sabbath just so happened to fall on a Friday evening to Saturday evening. Okay, but next month is gonna change because of the Gregorian calendar. Okay, I believe next month is gonna be Saturday from Saturday sundown to Sunday sundown. Okay. Yeah, so going on from there. Let me grab one last precept. Yeah, Isaiah 66 to 23 are good too. Let me read it real quick. Isaiah chapter 66 verse 23 says, and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So the new moon, again, is a Sabbath, and the Sabbath in itself, we're supposed to worship before Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's a day to himself, like I mentioned in the previous video. Okay. Let's see. But this is what I'm looking for right here. Amos chapter 8, verse 5. And actually, I'm starting at verse 4. It says, hear this, O ye that swallow up the needy, even to make the poor of the land to fail, saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn? See, and that's another indication showing you that the new moon is a Sabbath. Okay? Because when the new moon, they're asking, when's the new moon going to be gone so they can sell corn, when they can do business? Okay? Because on the Sabbath, you're not supposed to do any sort of business or buy or sell. All right. Read on, says, in the Sabbath that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small and the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. And Israel was doing that, man. Okay. Being wicked as all hell, man. Okay. But I believe that same word here is chadash. Let me see if I can get it. Yep, chadash. Okay. Well, let me take a look here for just a moment, out of curiosity's sake. Yeah, so if you go into the Hebrew, demon. So if you go into the Hebrew, if you try to look up the word moon, it'll just give you the word moon. All right, it'll just say moon. I believe I go into the root word. Let's see. Yeah, so if you go into the root word, here it is. Yeah, this is actual with the word Yerach. All right, Yerach. Okay. So it means what? It means month. Okay. Moon, month, calendar month. Okay. It says month, moon. It says a month. Okay. So that's what the word month is. Now, if you go into Chadash, right? Chadash, it means new moon, which means what? A new, the first day of the month. Okay. Or the beginning of the new month. Okay. So this is how you keep time. This is how you know when the Sabbath comes in and what to do on the Sabbath. All right. And, basically how you dictate when the Sabbath comes in and when the new moon comes in. Okay. Like I mentioned before, there are other resources that tell you when the new moon comes in, gives you the day, the time. All right. Which we know that the time starts from evening to evening. Okay. And also as well, other resources that tell you when or gives you clues on when the first day of the month, first day of the year comes in. Okay. Pursuing to the moon cycles. All right. So with that, I'm going to close it out on that note. Like always, Lord's will is edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel, and also to you sincere Akim, you brothers that believe and are tuning into the lessons. Also the few sisters that believe as well. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well to this day, and also Shalom, peace and safety, salutations, and much due honors to the hopefully elect that's also plowing in his work as well. That's also holding fast to this word faithfully and continually pushing out this gospel to the other members of the hopefully elect in faith, in truth, in sincerity, and all charity. And with that, I'm going to say Shalom.